Some hunters see a calamity manifest. Some see a gigantic reclusive elder dragon. But all I see is my next pair of tar-skinned boots, which I will need if you insist upon oil slicking me every 5 seconds. Hello and welcome back, hunters. Title Update 4 is here, and very likely so too is the Lumenhim Festival. But both of these things are second fiddle to the star of the show, Gogmazios. While I have only a little experience fighting Gog this iteration, I'd like to do an analysis of his fight and give all the tips and tricks I can to help you maximize your experience and rewards. First things first, be sure you are prepared going into the hunt, as this is currently one of the toughest challenges in the game. And by prepared I mean 3 things: weapon, armor, and items. Yes, the same 3 things we always need to prep, but Gogmazios is a unique challenge and requires unique prep. Starting with the weapon, the game and devs have indicated that the easiest path to clearing this challenge is by taking 1 fire weapon and 1 dragon weapon. Why is this? Gogmazios is a tar-covered creature and reacts differently to damage depending on the state of that tar. In a little bit, once we are in the fight proper, we will be notified of different states of tar: solid, liquid, and gas. But for simplicity, the fire weapon is used to soften his tar, and the dragon weapon is to cause the most damage once softened. Be sure you are bringing a maxed weapon like Rathalos, Nu Udra, or Zoshia for fire, and a maxed dragon weapon from someone like Gore or Arkveld. Or a couple of elemental Artians will also fit the bill. Next is armor, and I cannot stress how much this makes or breaks the fight for the average hunter. Many players are coming back after having been away since Title Update 1 or 2 and are finding that they are getting one-shot frequently. The Archtempered apexes have given us many high defense meta pieces, and if you have not obtained Rarity 8 armor and not taken the time to reinforce it with armor spheres, I would highly recommend doing exactly that prior to fighting Gog. Introduced with this title update is Transcending. This is a process by which armor can be reinforced, allowing for further defensive levels, and in the case of Rarity 5 and 6 armor, more and larger decoration slots. If you would rather not farm the Archtempereds, or prefer the armor you currently have, Transcending is a wonderful option to help close that defensive gap. Whatever you choose, be sure to reinforce it as much as possible for the highest level of survivability. Lastly, the items. Gogmazios is a unique challenge in being the first Elder Dragon in Wilds. For those that are new to the series, Elder Dragons cannot be captured. They can't even fall victim to the traps, essentially ignoring them altogether. Don't bother taking traps or tranks this hunt. If you enjoy lure pods, they will not be of any help this fight. Barrel bombs may have some use potentially, but ultimately I chose not to take them, so consider freeing up space there as well. The only affliction Gog can cause is Fireblight, so nullberries would be recommended. Otherwise, be sure to bring as many healing items as you can. Mega Potions, Max Potions, the Craftables for more Mega and Max Potions, Lifepowder, Dust of Life, and even an Ancient Potion. Also, the drugs for your attack and defense, Armorskin and Demondrug, the pills, the powders, all of them can be helpful. If you haven't already, check out my previous video about pre-hunt buffing, as that too can be utilized prior to the fight for more security. Do you need to have all these items? No. Here's a shot of my pouch when I hunt Gogmazios. I can clear him without needing to restock at a camp with this loadout, and I don't use all of what you see here. But the more healing you have on you, the more likely you are to succeed. NPCs will help with healing, but don't rely on them 100%. Remember too that items are provided by the guild in this fight, including easy Lifepowder and easy Dust of Life. Take advantage of those to help mitigate the cost to your own supply. Now that you are situated, Hunter, let's take a look at the target, Gogmazios. This Elder Dragon has the same skeleton as the Magala family, namely 4 legs and a set of wing arms. The only difference really is the scale. Gogmazios is the largest monster to date in Wilds, and despite his gargantuan size, Gog is nimble and moves a lot. The best valued and most advantageous hit zones for most weapons will be the wing arms, the head, the chest and tail when liquefied, and any blue node on his body. More on that later. Gogmazios has 3 distinct phases, and handling him is different each phase. Phase 1 begins in the lowest area of the Forgotten Machine Works, where we get the first little taste of the fight. During this phase, Gogmazios will be covered in solid tar, and it is our job to liquefy it using fire weapons. Once enough damage has been done to a specific body part, like the wing arm for example, you will be able to see tar dripping from it. This is a sign that you can switch to your dragon element weapon to do more damage. Over time, the tar in the area affected will reharden, and swapping back to fire starts the cycle over again. After enough damage has been dealt by you, your teammates, and the support hunters, Phase 2 will begin. But that's just what the game tells you. My first-hand experience differs somewhat, and I would be remiss if I didn't cover it with you here. Area 1 has 4, technically 5, environmental hazards that make light work of Gog to the point where you essentially could skip having a fire weapon altogether. Right at the start of the fight, there is a Sparkflint that you can use to engage the environmental traps, the blocked lava wells. There are 3 of them on the map, which can be easily seen as the ground around them is a shade of green, and gas is jetting out of the opening. By luring Gogmazios over these vents and shooting the Sparkflint, the gas can be ignited and a plume of lava will erupt from the ground, causing 2,050 points of fire damage up to 4 times. This means that if all 3 blocked lava wells are used to their maximum potential, 24,600 damage can be dealt in the first area. And, as this is fire damage, it can and will liquefy the tar on Gogmazios, allowing for you to exclusively use your dragon weapon, bypassing the constant weapon swapping. In addition, there are 2 rock drops, or rather deteriorated scrap metal drops. The first is between lava wells 1 and 2, close to the campsite of the arena. The second is near the rock ledge, where the support hunters have taken position. The second drop should be saved for the second phase, but the first one should be used, if possible, as once we move to Phase 2, it, as well as the lava wells, become inaccessible. The drops cause 4,100 damage each. The first phase, in total, should look something like this. Triggering the first lava well, then baiting Gogmazios under the rock drop, luring him to the second vent, and then lastly getting him to the final vent. In between these, he may be tripped by damage dealt by you or the environment, or the support hunters on the ledge. So be sure to capitalize on the downs by attacking hard-to-hit areas like the head. One final note about the lava vents: Gogmazios himself may trigger these vents, which could be a workaround to not needing the Slinger ammo. This phase should be over in 5 minutes or less. If Gogmazios has fled to the center of the arena and begun making the surroundings look like a laser light show, congratulations, you have made it to Phase 2 of the fight. This abyssal lava will cover the floor of the arena and melt the blockade, preventing you from climbing the ledge to join Fabius, Nadia, Kai, and Mina. After his second lava sweep of the cliff, you can now maneuver either on foot, sacred, or Slinger on top. Be sure to climb the ledge quickly, as Gogmazios is literally playing the floor is lava, and no skills, adaptability included, will negate the fire damage received. Once on the ledge, be sure to drink a cold drink or use a Chillmantle bug, as Gog has also raised the temperature considerably. Gogmazios will fight upright for this portion of the quest, a callback to his original fight in 4U. He will position himself in one of 3 places along the ledge: in the center, more to the right, or more to the left. For ease of explanation, I will be using Gogmazios' body when describing the area and the traps therein. This ledge has 3 different environmental traps to utilize. The farthest to Gog's right side has 3 hunks of Blastcoal to be rolled at him for 525 damage a pop. Looks like all that barrel bowling practice is finally getting some use. The next most right trap is the second rock drop from before, now situated above his head should he be more to his right side, or above his wing arm if he is center stage. Lastly is a lever that activates an ancient forge, a piston like the one in Area 4 of the Oil Well Basin, akin to the Dragonators we know from past games. This is on Gog's left side and is best saved until he is directly in front of it, as the hitbox for his wing arm is above the piston itself when he is centered, and you don't want to miss out on that juicy 8,200 damage. This phase is all about breaking the weapon off of Gog's back, called the Convergent Elderbreaker. This weapon is the primary damage source for this phase of the fight, so be sure to capitalize on it when the time comes. Start by attacking Gog's wing arms, either with the Blastcoal or with your weapon. Once enough damage is done, he will topple and his back will be exposed. Attack him until he stands back up, and rinse and repeat until the weapon dislodges. When the Elderbreaker falls, it will either fall on the rightmost or leftmost side of the platform, depending on Gog's position when the break occurred, with center defaulting to his right side. Now the fun begins. The Elderbreaker must be charged in order to fire, and the method of doing so is by plugging it into the wormway directly, or rather plugging it into the weapon. 3 nodes called Loose Nexus are now accessible in the rear of the area, with one always being close to the weapon and one always far from it. Connecting any one of these wires will begin the charging process for the Elderbreaker. The more you connect, the faster it charges. I recommend starting with the farthest and working down to the shortest for the least amount of doubling back. If you are interrupted, the wire you are holding will be dropped and slowly begin to retract. Grab it while it does to continue where you left off, otherwise you may have to start all over. The support hunters will also assist with one of the wires, so you are essentially responsible for only 2 of them. Once connected, approaching the weapon from the side will prompt you to move the angle of the gun, right or left, to ensure you can hit Gog regardless of his position. Approaching from the side or rear will give you the percentage of charge, which will always display in increments of 10. The gun can be fired at any time, but it is recommended to allow for the full charge before firing. Once at full charge, Werner will yell out, and it now falls on you, the player, or a human teammate to fire the cannon. Pressing the activation button twice at the rear of the weapon will have you pick up the final cord and plug it in place, where after only 3 short seconds, the Elderbreaker will live up to its name and inflict 67,650 damage, causing a topple for some more free damage. If all is done well and every damage opportunity is taken, Gogmazios should disengage and begin flying away to his final area and phase. When the ring around your minimap changes from red to white, or when he steps back onto all 6s, that is him disengaging and preparing to move. Based on experience, this phase is the most scripted and therefore the easiest phase, but some tips to make this part even easier. At this point forward, Gogmazios will essentially stay in liquid form until phase 3 on all but his chest. I personally don't bother swapping off of my Dragon Element weapon for the remainder of the fight. Focus on one wing arm through the fight, preferably wherever the support hunters are grouped up. Topples are much more consistent this way, and the attacks from Gog are more predictable. The rock drop can be best used when he is directly under it, as the damage will be dealt to his back, making it easier for the Elderbreaker to become dislodged. Also, if you have a long weapon like the lance, you may find that attacking his chest at a wide enough angle will allow you to hit the back hit zone, and as such, attacking him while upright can eventually break his back. If you have long reach and don't mind having your personal space invaded, this can help speed up the phase. Lastly, do not wait to use the rock drop, the Blastcoal, and the ancient forge piston. Reportedly, Gogmazios has a damage threshold lock, meaning that once enough damage has been done, he will disengage and fly to the next area, and his health will not lower any further until completing his migration. This means if you do not use the siege weaponry to lower his health prior to his move, the damage potential will be wasted. I have triggered the rock and piston many a time at the very end after Gog has disengaged, thinking this damage helped in the next phase, but again, reportedly, it does not. This phase should take no more than 5 minutes as well. There is a short transition between the first and second area where you are riding on your Sacred up a few long ledges. During this time, be sure to sharpen, heal, buff, or whatever else you need. Also, Gogmazios, for a while now, has had some Slinger ammo stuck to him, the compact Anti-Wyvern gun, or COWG. I'll just call it the Slinger ammo. While traversing the area, try to snag one of these off of him, as it will better prepare you for the final area. This Slinger ammo gives you 2 shots of high-impact dragon energy and can be charged. By aiming your reticle and holding the fire button, you can charge the shot for a limited time, with the maximum damage potential after just 2 or 3 seconds. The shot can be done on foot or on the back of the Sacred with downsides to each. On foot, you are locked in place and cannot move until the shot is fired, or you are interrupted, but as a result, your aim is much more accurate. On Sacred, you are not locked in place, but your aim may suffer as the Sacred moves and dodges tar bubbles. Another option at your disposal is fast traveling back to camp and restocking. Once Gogmazios reaches the next area, Wingdrakes become available for fast traveling to the top of the Forgotten Machine Works, so you won't have to climb it after the fact. Take advantage of this time to restock if needed, as the next and final area will have times where fast traveling is not available. This arena has 4 notable features, respective of the location you entered. There are 2 ledges in the back, and 2 larger rock drops, one on each side, called Falling Chimney Pillars. The ledges provide a modicum of protection during an upcoming event, but primarily the chimneys are what interest us. Gogmazios will fly for a large duration of this fight, and it is your job to bring him down to the ground. Achieving this is paramount, and the methods at your disposal are the Slinger ammo he provides, the chimneys you can drop, and, so long as you have not done so yet, a mount will also stop him. In this area, Gogmazios will perform DPS checks regularly, wherein if not enough dragon damage has been dealt, he will team wipe, using his ultimate Tar Bomba. Should the damage threshold be reached, he will still use his ultimate, but it will be survivable, much in the same way as the Alatreon fight in Monster Hunter World. Through the fight, Nadia will call out whether you are on track to pass the DPS check, saying things like, "We are or are not," keeping his power in check. Once the threshold is reached, she will say, "We've got his power in check, and you are safe from the Instacart ult." That said, you still have to defend against the attack proper. Climbing onto one of the raised platforms will work to avoid his attack, but only the first one, as afterward his ultimate will disintegrate these safe havens. The better option is to locate Fabius once Gog enters his red-hot nuclear mode and follow him, as he will shield the attack and anyone in his protective wake. If the damage threshold is not passed, his shield will be useless and a Farcaster nor fast travel will be able to save you. If you have the ability to guard yourself, you can also block this attack without needing guard or guard up, so long as you have enough health. This attack will consume roughly 1/5 to a quarter of your health, so be sure to top up before starting the guard. Also, be sure to vacate the area as much as possible, as raining tar bombs will drop all around the center of the stage. These can break your guard, and they will take stamina and health to block. The moment Gogmazios crashes back to the ground, you are safe to approach, as his giant tar pool is visual only. You now have an opportunity to attack him on the ground before he goes gaseous again and takes to the sky. Repeat the process of knocking him down and doing damage with your dragon element weapon and the Slinger ammo until he eventually perishes. It's that easy. No, but seriously, this part of the fight can be the most aggravating, as you are primarily reliant on your aim and Gogmazios' RNG. Some tips to make it easier. As soon as he finishes the animation of his flight up to the area, he will unleash an arena-wide spray and pray, where there are few safe locations. The largest and most predictable spot is directly below him, conveniently where he will always drop 2 of the Slinger ammo, or 4 shots worth. Get in the safe spot and start blasting. Also, the game tells us that hitting his wing arms will drop him to the ground, but I find his wings are fairly difficult to hit. Perhaps that's just a me problem, but I prefer body shots on his head, back, and tail. Look for the higher damage numbers when firing the Slinger ammo, and try to concentrate your fire there. In this area, Gogmazios will use his ultimate 2 or 3 times, depending on the damage you can deal to him. I try to use 1 chimney drop per cycle, and for one of the 3, I mount. For the chimneys, tar can be seen dripping on the ground in the spot where they will fall. Be sure Gogmazios is here before pulling them down, as his mobility while flying is greater than it would seem. Mounting is best accomplished by jumping from the Sacred and attacking the head, chest, or, best practice for me, the base of the tail. This will trigger the mount after roughly 10 solid hits. When Gog is going critical, his body will glow red hot, and as such the damage dealt by any dragon element is greatly increased. If you have not gotten the all clear from Nadia, do not stop attacking during this phase. More than once I have escaped certain death by the skin of my teeth, passing the DPS check in this phase. For safety, If you also pass the check during this volatile stage, you can disengage immediately and locate Fabius, a ledge, or another player with a shield and wait out the impending explosion. Another move that catches many players out, myself included, is Gog's Sweeping Tar Laser. This attack covers roughly a quarter to a third of the arena and can be dove through or blocked so long as you know which way he's turning. The easiest method is to pay attention to the top of his head. Whichever way it turns is the direction he is sweeping. Gogmazios also has a tail cut which results in a topple. A well-timed tail cut can be used to elongate his phase and give you a much-needed opportunity to pile on the damage. His tail can be carved twice, or up to a max of 4 times with the Carver Pro meal, and the body has 6 carves, or 8 max, with the same meal. And with that, Gogmazios is defeated. But I have one final major section to cover regarding the rewards received and how you can maximize them. When looking at the reward screen, we can see 3 categories: target rewards, rewards, and special rewards. Target rewards are the usual pieces from the monster as well as the certificates. There is a 1% chance to get a gem in any one of these slots versus a 2% chance on any one body or tail carve. Below them are the rewards, which consist of Artian pieces, talismans, armor spheres, and the new item, Mutated Armament. We can also see that this is all that appears in the special rewards category. What are Mutated Armaments? These are the pieces that turn your Rarity 8 Artian into a Gogma-Artian weapon and can be used to reroll the skills on a Gogma-Artian weapon and can be converted 2-to-1 for Auricalcite, used to reinforce Artian and Gogma-Artian weapons alike. These are the fundamental pieces required for the latest endgame grind, and depending on how masterfully you fight Gog will alter how many you receive. On my end screen, here is the, I believe, maximum amount you can earn in the special reward category, 27 total. You can randomly earn more in the reward category. This end screen here shows a total of 33 mutated armaments, so one fight can generate a lot of pieces. But how do we maximize this reward? I'm sure you noticed through the fight that Gog has these blue nodes all over his body. These directly correlate to the rewards in that when you break one, you will receive 4 pieces, or 1 box filled, at the end of the fight. 2 things to note. Number 1, you will only get these pieces upon successful completion of the hunt. If you fail, you will not get any mutated armaments. Number 2, the breakable nodes on Gogmazios' body will only ever total 6, with 4 of the locations static, meaning they will always be there for every fight, and 2 nodes dynamic, or they will change locations fight to fight, akin to the tempered wound system. The 4 nodes that are always present are the left wing arm, the right wing arm, the tip of the tail, and on Gog's throat. The remaining 2 nodes can appear on 2 of the 5 locations, and I believe them to be independent of one another. They can appear on the top of his head, on his shoulder, on his chest, on his hip dorsal side, or on the base of his tail. These 6 nodes account for 6 of the 7 rewards in the special rewards section. The final box with 3 rewards is for the use of the Elderbreaker in Phase 2 and can be seen on the side of the screen just as all the node breaks will be. All that said, focus your Slinger shots on these nodes and attack them with your weapon as the opportunity arises. When struck, they have a special particle effect, and when broken, they drop the Slinger ammo used in Phase 3, giving extra incentive to aim for them. These nodes can be broken as early as Phase 1, as evidenced by hunters much more skilled and coordinated than I, so keep that in mind if you find certain locations particularly tricky to damage. And that is everything you need to be victorious against the Spectre of War. If you have any more tips for hunters, leave them in a comment below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, and if you aren't already, consider subscribing to the channel or supporting the channel on Patreon. Until next time, may your RNG be kind and the desire sensor be blind. Goodbye for now, but not for long.